So what we talking about?
Is LeBron James the GOAT?
Is LeBron James the GOAT?
Is LeBron James the GOAT?
No, he's not.
Oh, I heard a lot of LeBron James fans about to go. Yo, they about to attack you.
Listen, man.
They're about to attack you.
I'm not attacking LeBron James. Hold up.
No. Get your sip of water because you're going to have to explain this real well. Because you know how the LeBron James fans are.
Hold up. I'm not attacking LeBron James. LeBron James is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Period, point blank. Phenomenal player, great ambassador for the league. I don't take that from him. I'm not attacking him.
Mm-hmm.
But when we speak GOAT, when we speak greatest of all time, what are we defining that as? In my personal opinion, how I view it, there's a difference between best and greatest. So if I say someone's the best at something, it speaks to their skill set. If I say someone's the greatest at something, it speaks to what your skill set has accomplished you in this area.
Right.
And when we're speaking to accomplishments in terms of who's the GOAT, I can't ignore MJ, period, point blank. For me, the GOAT is MJ across the board. At the end of the day, when you look at everything that the dude's accomplished, when you look at it from the standpoint, let me speak facts. I'm gonna speak facts here. I'm gonna speak facts here. If someone said to me, if someone said to me, all right, so what does a player have to do to be the GOAT? And I said, all right, you got to win at least 5 championships, 5 finals MVPs, and go undefeated in the finals, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles, a defensive player of the year, be all-star every year, lead the league in steals, and elevate the whole sport that you're in to new heights. You would look at me and say, that's impossible. MJ did it. Period, point blank.
And what did LeBron do?
At the end of the day, LeBron James, the thing that makes me mad about LeBron James as a basketball fan, he is the most physically unstoppable player in the league when he drives to the paint and he gets to the line or gets fouled and does his little flex thing. But at the end of the game, when the game's on the line, then you want to shoot long jumpers. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a Lakers fan, that is if it infuriates the hell out of me, bro. Like, drive to the rack.
That's
like,
the same
what
thing
are you doing?
That's the same thing my uncle always says. My uncle always be like, yo, what I don't understand is you are such a big man, but you don't play, you want to be a point guard. I mean, you want to be a shooting guard. Like, be the big man. Stay, like, drive. Use the body that you have. Most people can't guard it. Well,
it's because at the end of the day, we speaking facts. At the end of the day, if you drive, you get fouled, and you got to go to the foul line.
He's not a good.
Then what happens? What happens then is if you are at the foul line and the game's on the line and you miss those shots, guess what's going to be on SportsCenter the next
LeBron
day?
James.
You know what I'm saying? But if your stats look good and you pass up the last shot and such misses it, what are the analysts going to say? Well, LeBron had a triple-double. He has no help. The guy, he made the correct basketball play. If it's the correct basketball play that's continuously made, why does it always result in a loss in the finals more times than none?
Then it's not the correct play.
Tell me what GOAT in any arena has double championship losses than wins. You were 3-6 in championship games. What GOAT has more championship losses double than wins? If Floyd Mayweather said it being 50-0 was 20-30, would we be saying, well, but the defense is still good? No, you lost. Period. The thing about it is, let me say this. I'm not saying because you lose, you're not great, because everybody loses. It happens.
Right.
But don't make excuses for that. Like, every time the dude loses, it's an excuse. Oh, such and such. Oh, well, it's not fair. It's not fair because he got to go against 3 All-Stars. He got to go against 4 All-Stars. Everybody has to go against that same team. So we give people, like we say, James Harden. And I'm not a fan of James Harden like that either. I can't stand the way he plays and the way he flops and all things like that. But he's nice. But he got to show up in the playoffs. So last year, right, he loses in the playoffs to Golden State in 7 games, right? And in game 7, has bad shooting night. The whole team has a bad shooting night. They lose in 7. And then Golden State goes on to sweep LeBron in the finals. But LeBron's the only person that gets the sympathy. Well, he had to go against Golden State. Yeah, so did Harden. You know the only difference between a lot of these guys that we look at when we compare to LeBron that's in the league now, they're in the West. If Harden's Rockets were in the East these years, Harden would have got to the finals.
They were dominant because the East hasn't been stacked for quite some years.
Well, I mean, the thing it's just a stone cold fact. At the end of the day, the East for the majority of the time during that period of dominance was weaker than the West. It's just, you can look it up. People make all the excuses you want. If you're 8-0 in the East, you get to the finals every single year. You've undefeated in the East for this last decade, but you're 3-6 in the finals. What does that tell you when you go against the West team and you have a losing record? If you was in the West all these years, you wouldn't have made it to the finals. So at the end of the day, when we compare eras and we say, nah, such and such is the GOAT because, you know, all these teams got to team up to beat LeBron. No, LeBron had a losing record before Golden State was a thing. LeBron lost his first 2 finals. And the second finals that he lost in 2011, memory serves me correctly, I don't remember Dirk Nowitzki having no prime all-stars on his team. I remember Bron having 3. I remember Bron having... So it's okay. It's okay when Dirk Nowitzki alone has to face LeBron with 3 all-stars, but it's a problem when LeBron has to face another team that's stacked.
Just like when everybody gave Kevin Durant a lot of slack for making his super team. They was like, how dare he go to do that? But it's like nobody was saying, like, I don't remember this much issue when LeBron James went to Miami.
Now, people had issues when he went to Miami because when he went to Miami, the dude threw a concert, talk about not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. But then what happened was the first year out there, you lost. And you got outplayed by Jason Terry. You know what I'm saying? And you had
that was the year Kid won, right?
Yeah, that was, and Kid was 40 at the time. So you got outplayed by them and you lost.
But you know, people try to say that was rigged because Kid was retiring, so they wanted him to win, and LeBron let him win.
People can say what they want, but at the end of the day, it's like I said, the problem that I have is we keep changing the finish line when it comes to certain players. It's concrete. I don't care what. I've never seen so many excuses be made up for such a great player. Not his fault at all. It's a lot of his apologist fans that like to change the argument. Oh, he's the best player in the league because he has the best stats. Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double. Oh, but he never won. Oh, it's about winning now. So now it's about winning. So, but he lost in the finals. Well, he didn't have enough help. Okay, I'm sure every NBA player would love to have 2 to 3 All-Stars on their team.
But
I'm sure every NBA player would have loved to take their talents to South Beach and play with the 3rd best shooting guard of all time, Chris Bosh, a perennial All-Star, and the best shooting guard in NBA history at the time, the best shooter in NBA history at the time, Ray Allen. But not everyone has that lucky. So at the end of the day, when we compare that, it's just, I'm sorry. Let's not sit here and act like everything is perfect. Everyone likes to also have this revisionist history when it comes to certain things. Even with MJ, when people say, "Well, we act like MJ never lost," MJ got swept. MJ was 1-9 before Pippen. MJ lost. Okay, and LeBron didn't even make the playoffs his first 2 years. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, when you were in the position to win, what did you do? When it counted most, what did you do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like I said, nobody's perfect. Nobody's, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to win it all the time, every year, blah, blah, blah. But it's just comparing the situations when you're at your apex. When MJ was in his peak and he was winning, nobody ate. It's because of MJ that so many greats don't have championships. Period. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to LeBron and people make these excuses of these players that got to team up to beat LeBron and, Kevin Durant, Golden State needed Durant to beat.
That's not true.
Well, but here's what I'm saying. Well, Golden State beat LeBron's
Golden State
team
didn't need
in
Durant.
in 2015. But when people say that, I say it like this. They say, Golden State needed Durant to beat LeBron because Golden State got lucky that first year when they won. They got lucky that Kyrie and Kevin Love were down. I said, okay, I agree with that. If Kyrie and Kevin Love did not go down, Cleveland probably would have won that year. And Cleveland did win in 2016. So then you can't sit here and then tell me how unfair it is when it was 3 All-Stars versus 3 All-Stars. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day. And you can't tell me it's unfair. You can't tell me it's unfair when someone else has the advantage over LeBron. But when LeBron had 4 Hall of Fame potential guys on his team in Miami, it was peachy dory. It was all fine. It was all good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That's what I'm talking about. Let's keep the line where it's at. Again, I'm not saying LeBron James is not great. He is one of the greatest players of all time. I don't take that away from him. But for me, when we speak GOAT, it's just you got to nitpick at these little things. When you're great, if I tell you Kobe's great, Magic's great, LeBron's great.
So why is it that we never, because this is my issue. It's like, ever since Kobe retired, it's like, why is it that this same debate, right? This same debate about LeBron and Jordan, why is it not as heavy as a Kobe and Jordan comparison? I don't ever really see people go to town on this argument the way people do with LeBron. And I remember Iverson did an interview. He said, how are y'all, because they asked him like, oh, do you see similarities between like, or like, who do you think is the GOAT, LeBron or Jordan? He said, how do y'all even go to LeBron and y'all skip over the Mamba? We're not going to talk about Kobe?
Well, I mean, if you look at it from when you see analysts on TV and you see certain guys that played against these guys, you see them all get that love to Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like when they were in it. Certain guys that are just stat nerds and they just care about certain analytics and stuff like that, they're just trying to they manipulate the stats to say like, oh, yeah, and this, when it's all said and done, LeBron will be this, and LeBron could possibly be like 40,000 points, 10,000 and 10,000 when it's all said and done, which is phenomenal. I don't take that away. That's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, when we talk GOAT, we're nitpicking at the little things. So if I'm comparing Michael Jordan to LeBron, he's already played longer than Jordan. LeBron James told you himself he's chasing ghosts. I'm chasing the ghosts that played in Chicago. And at the end of the day, that's the one last thing I'll say is that's my other biggest problem with him. When you win, then you puffing the cigar like, yeah, that made me the GOAT. That made me the GOAT. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like all of this. But when you lose,
the temper tantrum.
Y'all still gonna go back to y'all normal lives, and I'm still gonna live my life.
And then he taking separate jets away from the team.
That's my problem. I had that same energy. Don't come up with no excuses. Don't come up with none of that. You was mocking Dirk before the finals with the cold, acting like him and Wade laughing and keying and all of that. But then when you lose, then you want to put your head down and pout and all of this other stuff. On one hand, when you win, you chasing a ghost that played in Chicago, and on the other hand, when you lose, it's just basketball, guys. It's just, have that same energy all the time. That's the biggest thing as a Kobe fan. I always say when Kobe took that L in the finals, when people be like, oh, y'all act like Kobe never lost. Y'all Laker fans, yeah, we know Kobe lost. Kobe, we got killed in 2008 in the finals. Right. I had to walk in school my last year, and I had to walk my head held high, just I had to take that. You ain't hear us talking about.
But Kobe had the best stats. He had to stack that stat.
And when Kobe was on that post conference interview, and they asked him point blank, you still had a great season. You made it to the finals. You said we lost, man. Second place is the first loser. We didn't win. What's the point of coming to the table if you ain't going to eat? I don't want to hear about how many times you made the finals if you lost. You lost. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? You can make the finals all you want. You're not winning them.
Then that goes back to like the nitpicking of things. It's like all of a sudden now we like, oh, you lost, but let's now find another subdivision to rate you. Let's find this one. All right, this didn't check out. Let's find this box. And it's like, no, at the end of the day, what you're saying is if you made it to the chip, the whole point is to get a chip. You're supposed to win. And you didn't win. So why are we talking about your stats if it did nothing to help win that game? You could drop 200 points, but if you lost, you lost.
Because it makes you look good. At the end of the day,
do you want to look good or do we want to win?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you want to look good? What did you say?
You
before?
Want to look good and lose, or look bad and win?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So sometimes you got to play a position. Maybe we didn't need you to do 40 points that night. We needed you to do 10, and you just assist. Can you play that? Can you be a leader and fall back? Because sometimes I feel like playing with LeBron is a lot of pressure.
I mean,
a lot of pressure.
Any great player you play with is going to be pressure. Anytime you're
playing.
But
it's a different type of pressure because like what we was discussing before. Like, wow, like if every time the team loses, he don't have help, and if the team wins, LeBron gave his all. To be a player on that team, it's kind of like, well, I'm here too.
Well, I'm here too. It's a narrative thing because if you before things start, if you're going to sit here and say. Like last year in Cleveland, if you're gonna sit here and say when the season started and Cleveland had Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose and Isaiah Thomas, all I heard from a lot of these analysts was, oh, Cleveland won the trade. You got rid of Kyrie, but you got Isaiah Thomas. He was an MVP candidate last year. This may be the most help LeBron's ever had. Then when they struggle and have to trade all those pieces away midseason, and then they get a new team, LeBron is quoted as saying, now we got an effing squad. And you see all these analysts like they got younger, they got faster, they can challenge Golden State. But then when you get to the finals and you lose, well, he didn't have enough help. So what is it?
He had help.
The narrative always switches when dude
don't forget
loses.
the argument about Jordan. Jordan had help. Jordan had help.
But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say Jordan didn't have help. No one wins alone. You need help. You need players around you. But at the end of the day, it also goes into what you do with those players around you. Scottie Pippen came there not as an MVP, not as an all-star. Scottie Pippen came there as a young player with potential that Jordan helped him realize. Jordan helped mold him into becoming what he became. Dwayne Wade was not molded into nothing by LeBron. He was a freaking champion before LeBron he helped teach LeBron. That's a fact. People don't want to admit this, but it's a fact. At the end of the day, that's the biggest difference. Period, point blank. Phil Jackson, people always say that, Jordan had the greatest coach of all time. Bro, Phil Jackson was not a championship coach when he came to coach Michael Jordan. Phil Jackson became that because he coached Michael Jordan. Period, point blank. At the end of the day, to become a great coach, you also have to have a player that's going to be willing to play your system and listen to you and implement the system that you're playing rather than just try to play a certain way that makes their stats look good and then you get fired if you don't win. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that. That's my thing. At the end of the day, I'll close it like this. LeBron James, great talent. As a Laker fan, I'm happy to have him. I'm hoping that we can get it done. Hopefully we get Anthony Davis. We can compete because I want to see my team win. I've been a Lakers fan since 98 and I want to see us win. So yes, I'm rooting for Bron. Let's get it done. But at the end of the day, do I think he's the GOAT? No. Can he possibly become the GOAT still? Yes. His career's not over yet.
No.
So we can have this conversation when his career is all said and done and look back and say that. But at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's just my personal opinion. My personal opinion. I still got MJ as the GOAT.
Hopefully nobody's too sensitive about it.
LeBron can easily become that. So don't y'all get sensitive in the comments on that. Oh, this nigga's
a hater. Blah, blah, blah. He's a hater. You're LeBron here. Yes. So y'all know what Louis P's opinion is. So if you have anything you want to put in the comments section, by all means, I would love to see. Be nice to my mans. Be nice to my mans.
Y'all gotta be nice to me.
Be nice to
Stay to the comment. Let us know what y'all think, man. Is LeBron James the GOAT? Yes or no? And if he's not the GOAT, tell us who you think is.
Right.
Always like, share, subscribe, comment. Peace and love.